Hello, good afternoon. This is Group Ninja Turtles. I'm Wen. This is my group mates. We're doing the case of Home Depot Company. First thing, we're gonna do some introductions of Home Depot. Then we will do assumptions. And lastly, we will do the 11-step forecasting approach with the comments. This company mainly focuses on do-it-yourself home improvement and building supply business. And it also has buy it yourself and professional, these two kinds of businesses. In the recent decade, it experienced rapid growth. Not only did Home Depot introduce the big box method of hardware operation, but the firm's other successful strategies, leaving many competitors with no option but to go out of business. It operates 930 stores, almost all of them in the USA. While other home improvement trailers struggle to identify alternative sources of cost savings in order to compete, economies of scale in Home Depot's business, in turn, further entrenched the firm's positioning in the minds of consumers. In terms of ROE, it kept 20% growth rate, especially during the period between 1986 and 2000. Meanwhile, the sales increased 40 times as many as before. However, in 2000, lower EPA's growth rate makes us concerned about the same level of growth rate in the future. That's the introduction. Well, in this case, we are giving the assumptions about sales growth rates and the no paid profit margin as well. The sales rates are 20% in 2002, 29% in 2003, 20% from 2004 to 2007, and then 10% for 2008 to 2009. The no-paid profit margin is 5.7, which is slightly greater than the profit margin in 2000.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm going to talk about asset turnover assumption. Aligned with preset assumptions, like very high sales growth rate and stable profit margin, and based on several other reasons, we think its asset turnover will decrease. From chart 1, we can see that the company's annualized number of transactions per square footage has decreased since 1991. We believe this is mainly due to the fact that the company has opened 2/3 of its new stores in existing market, and there are many competitors in the region. Chart 2 shows that its average sale per transaction has increased from 1986. Combining these two factors, we can see that the company's sales per square footage maintains stable since 1992. In other words, the company is close to its mature stage. Its major sales increase driver is to open more stores. However, in the long run, we think this investment efficiency will decrease steadily. As a result, we forecast its asset turnover will decrease from 3.5 in 2002 to 2.8 in 2009.
This is Kay. I'm going to talk about our assumptions of net dividend payout ratio, cost of debt, and others. From the historical data, we found the average net transaction with shareholders was negative. However, aligned with the aggressive sales growth rate and the optimistic profit margin assumptions, if the company enters into the mature stage in the near future, we assume it would have a positive net transactions with shareholders to utilize the excess cash. Meanwhile, the leverage ratio would also increase gradually, as debt is relatively cheaper than equity in this stage. Hence, in our forecast, the net dividend payout ratio would be 28%, so that leverage ratio would increase and level off at approximately 22%. According to our observation, the company had a very low cost of debt after tax. In some years, it was even negative. The reason is its low leverage and the net debt position. However, we will revise this situation in our forecast. Because the company is assumed to have higher net dividend payout ratio and to borrow more debt in its near life cycle stage. Therefore, we predict the company would have 3.8 cost of debt after tax, which also reflects its credit rating of AA3 from Moody's in 1999. We didn't revise the sales forecast for step 3 as we believe the company is capable to increase its operating asset and therefore to promote sales to the targeted sales growth rate. Moreover, we didn't assume any unusual operating items in the forecasting period.
I'm Si Huang, and this part are the results of our forecasting. Based on the discussed key assumptions, the revenue, net operating asset, comprehensive NOPAT, and net income will quadruple in 2009, and the shareholders' equity will triple. During the forecasting period, Home Depot enters the mature stage of its core business product life cycle. Because of its healthy credit rating and debt is relatively cheaper than equity at this stage, Home Depot will borrow more from creditors to fund the expansion, but still experiencing negative debt net repayment, and pay out more dividends and let its shareholders utilizing the excessive cash by investing in other available projects. And because the DIY market is expected to be oversaturated due to its geographic clustering strategy, and we cast doubt on the feasibility for Home Depot to occupy the expected market share in the professional and buy-it-yourself market segments in the near future, the marginal revenues generated from opening one more store is diminishing, and so does the investment efficiency. This slide summarized our comments of the forecasting, and thank you for your attention.